The midterm elections, with Republicans calling it a red wave in Florida. Were changes to voting in the state effective? Elections Chief Cord Byrd joins us in studio. There are changes in Florida's legislature, too. A state rep will become state senator. A state senator will head to a seat on Capitol Hill. Aaron Bean and Tracie Davis on This Week in Jacksonville. Thank you for joining us today. The nation's midterm elections mostly wrapped up Tuesday night. And for the second time in 2 years, Florida's version of election night seemed to be a model for the rest of the country. Joining us in studio right now, Cord Byrd, named Secretary of State for Florida in May. And so, Secretary Byrd, how did elections go from your perspective?
Once again, Florida leads the nation. We set the gold standard, and we had a wonderful election night, and that's because we got the results to the people early on the evening, and they knew who they voted for and what the results of the races are.
You were appointed, I believe, May, took over June, what have you. Were you able to take the blueprint from a couple of years ago and say, this really worked, we're going to do that again? Were there changes that you made?
Sure, so absolutely. So, since 2020, when we were the laughingstock of the nation to where we are now, and it's because we've made legislative changes, and then under the leadership of Governor DeSantis, continuing to push, and then even though we had a great election in 2020, we continue to look and see what we're doing right, what we can do better, and the legislature responded to those changes, which once again resulted in why we were successful on Tuesday.
One of the things I wanted to ask you about, the Department of Justice announced, hey, we're sending monitors to locations across the country. So 64 locations, 24 states, and the Department of Justice said, hey, it's to guard against violations of federal voting rights laws before the election and even election day. So your office objected and then rejected those monitors. Why is that?
Sure. So it's not that the monitors can't come to Florida and be outside, but we take our laws seriously, and there's only a certain group of people that can be in a polling place, and those are the poll workers, poll watchers, and voters. That's Florida law. Federal law doesn't trump Florida law when it comes to that, and the U.S. Constitution gives the state the right over the time, place, and manner of its elections, and we respectfully asked them to respect our laws, and they did. They didn't push to come into the polling places.
And that wasn't something that really was on my radar, but I knew that previous elections, because of the pandemic, those federal monitors didn't go inside.
Right.
But prior to that, as I understand it, they were allowed inside in some cases, or maybe all the cases.
So there were instances in which a consent agreement had been entered into between a county and the Department of Justice, in which case they would be allowed in if that was part of the agreement. But all of those agreements had expired. We asked them for any specific instances of violations of federal law. They could not point to any. So once again, we asked them to respect Florida law, and that's exactly what they did.
Did you get pushback from the Department of Justice? Or
we didn't, no.
Okay.
No. And we weren't the only state. Missouri did it as well.
I saw that, the kind of the same direction or complaint, if you will. So I didn't live here in 2000, but that famous election clearly put Florida elections in a spotlight, and a pretty negative one at that time. So monitoring that we're talking about goes back to the 1960s. Some believe that federal monitors helped stabilize elections, and what we just talked about, you referenced, 20 years ago, it was kind of rough.
Sure, right, and there's no issue with people are having monitors outside of the polling place, but once again, we take seriously the sanctity of the inside of the polling place, the security that's involved, and there's not a federal law on point that they could direct us to, and so absent a specific reason, absent a specific federal law, they're not allowed in the polling places in Florida.
Changing topics a little bit, I just asked you personally, I know you live out at the beaches here in Northeast Florida. I live in St. Augustine. So much destruction because of hurricane and then tropical storm Nicole. As I understand it, all 67 counties had an emergency declaration. Would you explain what your office did to allow some accommodations for voters because of the bad weather that went on this last week?
Sure, exactly. And on my press conference on election night, I said, we're going to make sure that every single vote gets counted. And what that means is some voters cast a provisional ballot. Some voters need to cure their ballot, meaning if there's a signature mismatch, they have the opportunity, we give them due process to come in and fix it so that their vote is counted. So we wanted to make accommodations because there are statutory timeframes in which the counties must finish the canvassing of those provisional and cure ballots. So we extended that time a little bit so that people could obviously get to safety, make sure that their home and property is secure, while still giving them the opportunity to fix their ballot to make sure that it will be counted, because we take that very seriously.
Yeah, tough time, you know, and we talked here in the newsroom, boy, I wonder what it's going to be like in the areas that were hurt by Hurricane Ian. That southwestern side of the state, did you have any elections problems there, or was it tougher for them?
We didn't, and I went down and surveyed the area right after the hurricane and met with the supervisors of elections, and we wanted to, and the governor was issued an executive order to make sure that those individuals could vote. And fortunately, the turnout in those 3 affected counties, Charlotte, Lee, and Sarasota, ended up being consistent with statewide. So the voters there had the opportunity, and we made the necessary accommodations, and I'm really proud of that.
So, Secretary Byrd, when you were appointed last spring, I remember an NPR article that said, new elections chief worries Democrats, went on to talk about you as more right-wing. How do you respond to those critics? And maybe how do you respond to, hey, you put into place this new elections crime unit and some other changes that have been voted in through the legislature over the last couple of years?
Sure. Well, my role has changed. I mean, as a legislator, I certainly had positions that I advocated for in response to the constituents that I represented. But now my job is more ministerial. I call balls and strikes, and I'll let my record in my 6 months in office and now through a primary election and a general election speak for itself, that we can stand on a record that in Florida, every single Floridian that wanted to vote had that opportunity, that their votes counted, and at the same time, we're enforcing the law and want every ineligible person or vote not to count.
So that election security wing there, almost a law enforcement, did that make a difference here? Was it needed in this election?
It is needed. I mean, the best way to, or the surest way to undermine faith in government is for a government not to enforce its laws. And for too long, election laws really didn't go enforced, and we see that around the country. So under Governor DeSantis's leadership, he's made election integrity a priority, and we're going to enforce our laws. And we now have a specialized unit that is doing that. So these investigations were taking place even before the creation of the Office of Election Crimes, but now we have dedicated investigators that are ensuring that our laws are enforced. And I think it does increase people's faith and belief in the integrity of our elections.
Secretary of State Cord Byrd, thanks so much.
Thank you, Ken.
Appreciate you. All right, stay with us. Longtime state lawmaker Aaron Bean making a transition. The Nassau County man making arrangements to work in Washington, D.C. Senator Bean goes to Congress, something like that. That's next on This Week in Jacksonville. Stay with us.
A new kind of superfood? Hardee's new Super Bacon Biscuit has twice the bacon and is available till noon on the weekends.
The universe provides.
Bite into the new Super Bacon Biscuit, only at Hardee's.
Why do you need new floors? We're not morning people either, but we are flooring people. Right now, you can save up to 50% on specially marked waterproof flooring and get special financing on select purchases made with your Floor Trader credit card. Save on beautiful hardwood, carpet, luxury vinyl, tile, and more. It's in stock and ready to go.
Floor Trader, the money saver.
Exact Track 4D, cutting-edge technology to keep you safe.
At Fair & Farah, we represent the abandoned, the mistreated, and ignored. Fight for what's yours. We're here for you, here for good.
With everything you have on your plate, earning your degree online seems impossible. But at Grand Canyon University, we specialize in helping you fit a master's degree in business into your busy day. Your graduation team, led by your own GCU counselor, provides you with the personal support you need to succeed. Achieve your goals with a plan and team behind you. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Visit gcu.edu.
Discover the magic with Florida Times the Cash Scratch-Offs, featuring 40 prizes of $1 million or more, plus bonus play. The Florida
Big news. We're all morning people now. Nope, you're not less lazy. Hardee's now serves super sausage biscuits anytime before noon on weekends.
What?
Again?
Bite into the new, meaty Super Sausage Biscuit, only at Hardee's.
Sky-high inflation wreaking havoc on your holiday spending. News for Jax, helping you save big bucks on your car insurance. We pay more than any state in the country.
My car insurance will be going up due to the state of Florida.
The tactics, experts say, could easily slash your bill almost in half.
They don't charge you. It is a free service.
Plus, the biggest misconception while shopping for a policy.
Making ends meet car insurance, Monday starting at 5 on News 4 Jax. You're watching This Week in Jacksonville with Kent Justice.
Thanks for staying with us today. The controversy of newly drawn districts of the U.S. House of Representatives, that's faded for the moment. The new Florida Congressional District 4 includes Nassau, Clay, and part of Duval counties. Republican Aaron Bean has been elected. Congratulations. So Congressman-elect is what I get to call you now instead of Senator, or prior to that, State Representative Aaron Bean. Until redistricting happened, was this even on your radar to run for Congress?
Kent Justice, a very good morning to you. Always a treat to come here. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. The seat was newly drawn, and as a result of the Governor DeSantis vetoing an earlier plan of the Senate, and so it came, and then we looked at it and decided to jump in.
Yeah, you did. You jumped in, and clearly you have connections in Nassau County. That's where you... Did you grow up there, Fernandina Beach?
I did, yeah. And I used to be the mayor there a very long time ago. Served as a state rep, then served as state senate. Had the honor of serving as Northeast Florida state senator for 10 years, actually.
So jumping in, the two-pronged question here. When did you decide? And I think we covered that a little bit. Why did you decide, hey, you know what? I want to take my shot. I want to run for Congress.
Right. Kent, when we gave our thank you speech to our team election night, it was 104 days. So we said 104 days we got in. Wow. It was literally a sprint to the finish. I was off in a different direction. And when the seat came available, I felt a very strong calling that I could offer. I could add benefit to the seat. I could represent Northeast Florida. I could help work on putting our country together, getting our country right, back on the right track a little bit. I've been spending this last few days saying thank you, and I will say thank you, Northeast Florida. I'm truly grateful for this opportunity. Later on today, we're going to Washington, D.C. for orientation. So I always said I'll sleep next week, but we're not going to go to sleep. We're going to go right back to work, and we are going to go learn the rules of the game and help put together an office and go forward from there.
So we talked briefly about this, but very memorable advertisements during this campaign, even if it was 104 days. So we're going to show one of the campaign ads that your team ran here. You really lean into your skills as an auctioneer. Right. Started running, I think, in July. So two questions here. Did you have any fun doing it? And what kind of response or reaction did you get to it?
We had a blast doing this commercial. And Kent, maybe everybody else doesn't know, I am a licensed Florida auctioneer. I've done hundreds. I think I'm in the 800s now of galas and auctions that I've done for nonprofits all over Florida, mainly in Northeast Florida. And so we wanted to do something piggybacking off of that and do it in a humorous way, and our creative team really came out. We had to do it several times because I kept coming in at 21 seconds or 22 seconds. Right. So faster, Bean, faster.
Well, that was the point of the commercial, right?
Do it in 20 seconds. And it had to be 20 seconds. I've had people time it, and it was right on the money for 20 seconds. That was fun. It's great. It's fun to, but it's a serious topic that we've got work to do to put our country back on track.
Am I wrong? But your personality doesn't lean into attack ads or going negative. You just said there were some serious topics in that, but you did it kind of in a fun way.
Kent, we spent zero on negative campaign. Primary and general, we spent zero. So I'm a positive guy. I want to be positive. Jim King, though, taught me, one of my mentors, the late Jim King, you can't have a sense of humor in politics. And that that was one of our fun side commercials, and we had a good time. We got really good play on it. Not everybody liked it, but everybody was talking about it, and that was our mission, to get everybody talking about Bean, about the race, and about where we are as a country. And the majority of people have said, we think the country's going in the wrong track. Bean helped put it back in a positive direction.
So what are those key issues that when you arrive and get sworn in there in January or whatever, what are the key issues that you want to advocate for, or kind of changes you want to make in Washington?
Well, on the campaign trail, those 104 days, Kent, it was all about the economy. The economy dominated the election. Inflation is eating everybody's lunch and dinner, literally and figuratively. And so energy prices, gas prices is also, so we've got to, as a country, get back to energy independence. We've got to put the brakes on spending that has made inflation worse. Those are key things. The border also, I've heard from so many people, do something about the border. So we're going to caucus. We began caucusing as a party on Monday, and this week we hope to emerge having picked a Republican leader to be the next Speaker of the House.
So as I think through some of that, I think through your involvement here in Jacksonville, Northeast Florida, let's show you some video here. Your experience includes past several years in the Florida Senate, and then before that, Florida House. But U.S. Rep, this is a full-time job. So you were associated with UF Health Jacksonville for many years. What happens to that relationship now? You can't work there and work on Capitol Hill and that sort of thing.
That's exactly right, Kent Justice. I will be, I haven't done it, so I've already given, I told Mr. Armistead, and you know Mr. Armistead, you, Kent Justice, I'll brag on you because you have been an MC at our gala, at UF Health Gala, where we celebrate heroes and all of the men and women, the medical personnel on site. So you've been a part of that family too, raising money for improvements to our only level 1 trauma center in Northeast Florida. I will be parting ways with UF Health, and I've been there over a dozen years, and so that's a special place, and we've worked to raise money on a variety of different issues and bring in people that could help build that campus out. We're going to be doing that as we've talked about it too. A new trauma center in the next couple of years will be built right on campus. And of course, we miss our good friend who recently passed away too soon, but in his memory, Dr. Haley, that'll be the namesake of our new trauma center. Dr. Haley.
Hey, final question for you. Has anyone from Fernandina Beach ever been elected to the U.S. House of Representatives? Are you the first?
The first from Nassau County, but we wear the Northeast Florida colors strong, and we look forward to hopefully setting up some offices. That's the one thing that we're looking forward to doing over the next several weeks, establish staff and establish offices and just hit the ground running. We get sworn in that first week of January, and that's where we want to be a player and to work, make sure Northeast Florida, working with our other colleagues, Congressman Rutherford and Waltz and Kat Kamak and others, to team up with them and flex Florida's muscle. We've got a new delegation, 4 new members of our delegation in Florida, so hopefully that'll be to our benefit.
Senator Bean, I appreciate it. Congressman-elect Aaron Bean, I appreciate the time here. And yeah, the 118th Congress scheduled to convene January 3rd. Thanks for the time today.
Kent Justice, thank you so much.
All right, well, stay with us, and we're going to cross back over to state politics in Florida. Senator-elect Tracie Davis joins us next. Stay with us on This Week in Jacksonville.
Well, hello, Winn-Dixie. Delivery! Right along! Shotgun!
Okay.
Winn-Dixie delivery in as quick as 2 hours, over. At the same great in-store prices, over.
That was quick. They just really love great prices. Huh.
Win-win twins for the delivery win!
For nearly 40 years, Harrell & Harrell has successfully handled personal injury cases for you, our neighbors and friends here in our community. After an accident, we are here to work hard to try and get people their best possible outcomes. Personal injury is personal to us. It's all we do, all we've ever done. So we come to work every day with one single purpose, to find the best solution for our client's situation. It's what we're here for.
This holiday, where can you save time getting everything off their wish list and even more time checking everything off yours? Lowe's, actually. Find everything you need and more this holiday at Lowe's.
Every storm is different. Every story unique. But our commitment to you never changes. If it's your storm, it's our storm, and we'll face it together.
At Bears Furniture, shop the brands you love for less during our Veterans Day sale. Save 40% plus an extra 10% store-wide, including 10% off all Lexington products. Plus, Bears salutes all veterans with free in-home delivery, like this gorgeous loft bed, only $8.98. Or relax in the living room of your dreams with this luxurious leather sectional at the guaranteed lowest price. We have thousands of items in stock and ready for holiday delivery through Sunday only. Where? Bears.
That's a pretty tight spot.
Watch this.
Your Buick parks itself. That's so you.
Of course you know where we're going. That's so you.
I got a 6th sense.
And a head-up display.
They're here.
You brought all these players in your Buick?
Yep.
So you.
It is.
At the heart of every Buick SUV is you.
Get 3.99% APR for 72 months and no monthly payments until 2023 on these Buick SUV models. Buick, ranked #1 brand in the industry for new vehicle quality.
When his chest pain started, I knew it wasn't old age. This was something wrong.
They went in through my shoulder. They fished themselves down to my heart. What they did correctly, apparently, and it worked properly. I went in the hospital Monday morning. I was having lunch Tuesday with my wife at home.
I've got a strong, healthy 86-year-old husband back. We are eternally grateful to Ascension St. Vincent's.
Schedule your care today at Ascension St. Vincent's.
You're watching This Week in Jacksonville on Channel 4.
Changes coming to Duval County's delegation to the state capitol. Tracie Davis is with us this morning. So congratulations on your election to the Florida Senate. You've been serving in the House of Representatives. What does this mean to you, becoming one of those 40 members of the Senate rather than a much larger number in the House?
Just pure excitement, really. I'm still answering text messages that are saying congratulations and we're so proud of you. But just excited to represent the city of Jacksonville and the people of Jacksonville. I've been told over and over there's more influence over in the Senate as a senator. So I'm excited to work with my colleagues, both Republicans and Democrats, to do the best I can for the people of Jacksonville.
We're coming back to that idea. That was really important what you just said there. So you claim 57% of the vote Tuesday. Districts includes a lot of Duval County inside Interstate 295. What are the biggest issues that you want to address in the state legislature this coming year?
Well, we're going to still deal with housing affordability. That's definitely #1. We're going to tackle the property insurance. You know, the governor has already called for a special session. I want to continue to deal with education and making sure we're funding and providing the resources fairly across the board for all of our students to benefit from that. Actually continue with health care. That's also a crisis, and closing up those disparity gaps throughout our community. And of course, what's always near and dear to my heart, voting access. I'll continue to work on that every day, all day.
Yeah, that goes to an experience of 15 years, 16 years?
It was 13 in the office, 13. And I continue to do it.
Yeah. So Audrey Gibson was in this seat. You're replacing her. She was minority leader at one point. How do you, as a Democrat, approach working in the legislature when there's this supermajority on the other side?
Ken, I did a lot of work across the aisle when I was in the House. Actually, I feel like I was really successful, passing 15 significant pieces of legislation in the 6 years that I was there. And I did that by working with my colleagues, both Democrats and Republican. And so I will continue to do that. That's how I will tackle legislation, by working across the aisle like I did in the House, and striving for the best things for the people of Jacksonville. And that's how you get it done. We both know it's all about relationships, and I have those relationships from the House, and I have even more going into the Senate.
So on that note, I want to show you some images here. You served in the Florida House since 2016, and among those in your class, Cord Byrd, who we interviewed at the beginning of our show here, Kimberly Daniels, out of the House for a while, now back in the House, and then Clay Yarborough, who also moves over to the Senate now. those relationships, you're saying those are key because you do have to work across party lines there.
Absolutely, absolutely. To get anything done, I learned quickly with the experience coming out of the Supervisor of Elections office in my years that it is about relationships. And while I was in the Supervisor of Elections office, you know, when I walked in, people saw Tracie Davis, the Democrat, conducting our elections. And by the time I left, it was Tracie Davis conducting our elections. So many times it's not about party. It's about the relationships, and I will continue to work with my colleagues, like I said, both Democrat and Republican, to get the benefits that we need here in Jacksonville.
A lot of people will recognize the name Jerry Holland. He was Supervisor of Elections for many of those years while you were working there. He's Republican, you're Democrat. Was that a barrier, or was that actually helpful to conducting elections and making sure they were fair and all those things that are vital?
It was extremely helpful. Being in the supervisor elections for the number of years that I was there, I actually worked under 3 supervisors that were Republican. And we got a lot of work done. And so, again, having Mr. Holland as my last supervisor and both of us being from different parties helped me even more to understand what I needed to do to be successful in going to the Florida House and now going over to the Florida Senate. I will maintain those relationships, and I know working across the aisle benefits me, and it actually benefits the people of Jacksonville to get what we need back here. To be successful and continue as a great city.
1 minute or less. Did Senator Gibson have any kind words for you going into?
She did. She congratulated me, and she said, "Congratulations, Senator." So I thought that was really special.
Yeah. I appreciate the time. We know that there will be organizational meetings. There will be stuff happening soon for everybody, Senate and House, as we get ready for what happens this coming year. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the time.
Thanks, Ken. I appreciate being here.
All right, so coming up, Duval County voters in the election, they chose T.K. Waters to become the next sheriff. I spoke with him by phone this week. He says he plans to join us next time. I hope you'll do so that as well. Also, Florida Speaker designate Paul Renner. He's local. He's going to be the Speaker of the House. He's going to join us next week, too. This Week in Jacksonville airs each Sunday morning at this time. I'm Kent Justice. Thanks so much for watching on air on Channel 4 and the CW17. And then when you go online, you'll find us at news4jax.com, and you can even find us streaming on the News4Jax Plus app.